Hi guys, this is my Pulsar roundup for the end of January. I know I'm overdue, but believe me, it's worth it. Let's go guys. So what you will get, I will not review Xlite Wireless the 10th time, or you don't need to watch another Xlite Wireless review. We will talk a little bit about what I have, about the evolution of Pulsar gear, of the mice they did, and of everything around. What I had here, what I reviewed, what they sent it me very early when I began with my YouTube career, and what I think, what will come, and how I feel about it. But we also will talk very short about these, about the Xlite, the red one and the white one. This with the old firmware, one with the normal skates, one with the glass skates. I will give you a short overview. Let's start very early. First one, the first Xlite model was basically originally in the same shape with a different bottom design. It was a wired mouse, was very good, was ergonomic, had Omron skates, Omron switches, skates. And basically, when we remember about one TikTok, more than 1 million people watched, was it the worst click feeling ever on the whole planet? Okay. After this, some weeks, months later, they changed these Omron clicks to K clicks. So clicks are way more snappy now. Honestly, I had no problems with the Omrons than before. Sure, the click feeling is way different, but also still okay. It's just a different use case with Japanese or with Chinese Omrons. Depends on whatever you want. So everything Pulsar sent me was always good, was like very, very good in competition, or basically by the pricing they had, or the pricing they were able to do versus the whole competition. And honestly, sure, the builds and the way the mice were made at the beginning were not that rock solid, but basically now, bro, I have no idea. I lift I lift 100 kilo again, deadlifts for example, for 5 sets, and I can tell you my grip it's kind of strong and nothing is squeezing. And I remember the very first one, they were like a little bit fragile on the sides, and they had like a spongy feeling, to be honest. Wasn't that super solid, but now the latest or the last version I were able to buy, the red one, is super rock solid. Also, it feels very good. Besides this, here is now a 3370 built in with 20,000, so with 20k DPI, not 19, it's 20k DPI. PCB is still very small. The bottom plate is redesigned compared to the very first models. This mouse is the only mouse who is already able to pick up glass skates, basically also made by Pulsar, which are very high quality, which I have installed here on my white version, just to see the difference. Are these glides nice? Yes, they are very good. It's a very good, very new feeling, but I can tell you, they are not made for hard pads or super fast hybrid pads, in my opinion, because you can lose control for sure. You can get a huge overshoot, but the smoothness with those silicate glides is unbeaten, in my opinion. For now, it's unbeaten. Maybe some people will make some new chemical, some new glides out of different stuff. I already saw metal glides, by the way, on some Chinese factories who are selling glides. I did not buy them, but I saw them already. Totally crazy. I know there's Sapphire skates. We try to get Sapphire skates end of the month to also review them. Ceramic skates are still not that good option, in my opinion, to be honest. We tried them on the Skypad review. Still, I don't know. For me, very good, very rounded, smooth, not too soft made PTFE feeds are very good because they give good response, and for very smooth glide feeling and very, very smooth start point, those glass glides on, for example, on the Xlite, or here the glass glides for the G Pro, where you will get a different, another extra review from a super smooth. They're feeling awesome, great feeling, very controllable start, not too fast, not too uncontrollable, but still I think you will need some time to get used to it. Kind of nice, and I love that they have done this, that they we basically knew about this in March or April last year already about the glides. So when we started with YouTube and we got our first sample for a review by Pulsar for the German market, we already knew the roadmap for the next 1.5 or 2 years. We also knew about those keyboards that they made lately, about some pads and the glides for sure. They're a little bit late now with the glides. It's like 3 or 4 months later than it was set on the time scale, but still awesome work, to be honest. And they still managed to do everything whilst it's Corona and we have shortage on everything. Pretty solid work. That's basically all. Most of you know this mice or mouse from Pulsar. So if you still want to go with the Ergo and you can't wait for the new version, which is basically already called out, you can go with the old one if you get one. Most of them are sold out. You will only be able to get the red one on the Pulsar page, and then you have to pay taxes when you get it to Europe, for example. And they already announced the new version. It's like closed on the sides, like the Superglide I have here. That's the limited Superglide. That's basically the grandfather of the Superglides now, with a little bit thicker, more air-curved silicate glides. But the design is basically already on V2 level. It has closed sides on both sides, so I can show you already how the new version will look like. It will look like this, but without a cable for sure. And if we compare it a little bit, and we watch this with the mouse wheel, and so we just compare them, you can see if you watch this photo that they will do some other stuff too. One thing is they will raise the mouse wheel by 1 millimeter up, which I think is a good thing, because for people who are playing a little bit more fingertip, sometimes there's a problem by the hump here in the mid to switch over, because it's so low that you maybe can't press it anymore. Also, the press is feels a little bit hard, and that's another thing. They made a lighter wheel click, so they thought or here to their community, to the gamers, to people who used it, and said, okay, we raise it and we make it more easy to click for you, so it's more enjoyable to play and it's way more comfortable. And that's also a good thing. Always when I watch Pulsar, I see that people telling them something and they never say, yeah, okay, we will do it, and then you wait 1 year. They just do it by themselves, and if it's finished or ready to drop for the market, they just do it, you know? And that's a good thing. It's not that you always need to say, hey guys, please tell us what we need to do. It's just like, just listen, understand, and do it. That's the way. And that's customer satisfaction, you know, guys. That's awesome for everyone who buys upcoming products. So another one, what I showed you already, is that they removed the side holes. And yes, the grip is better without the side holes. I can tell you, we tried already some hours ago. The weight balance is centered and lowered. What does it mean? One problem here on the wireless was that basically the battery is sitting above the PCB, but basically not really centered. It's like the weight point feels like here. It's a little bit above the sensor. Basically, the weight feels, or the weight middle point feels like it's here on the sensor. And also, if something or weight is in a building or in a car or in whatever, very on top, so the heaviest part is most on top, you will get like a jittery feeling, unstable feeling. Also, this will influence your aim, because as you can see, when you do this, it flips off very easy. So mouse can flip off very easy. Now, for the new version, the battery pack will move to the end. It will move down here, and because of this, of a battery pack having it like here and very close to the bottom, the overall weight drops down. So those lift problem here, those like that it's very easy to lift up with low force, will disappear. it will maintain the same weight, so liftoff will be no problem, but it will not like be, I don't know, like a drunken sailor, you know, who's always ditching to the right side because the weight in the head is too heavy. It's not anymore then, so you will have a way better feeling in general because the weight is sitting lower, and it will be sit more centered now because the battery moves to the back end, and then you have weight in front, weight in the end. So the weight, it's like a good made sports car. It should be 50-50 by every X, and if you can achieve this, you have an awesome feeling for a car. And basically it's the same here. Of course, it's a sport car. In any points you want it light, fast, very responsive, very low weight, very capable of doing everything with low latency. So it's a good comparison, you know, guys. And yeah, what they also do, they revamped the software and it's more accurate in tracking. More accurate in tracking. There was the MCU problem with lower hertz, and that's why they updated the firmware to V1.1. As much as I know, most problems were below 1000 hertz or 500 and whatever, but I won't play it anyway. While it's tracking, it's get a little bit, or you get the feeling of motion sense, motion delay, and it feels not accurate while it's tracking. Honestly, with the new update, it's basically just removed. It's awesome one-to-one tracking. Yes, it's not on the level of the G303, for sure not, but it's superb compared to the competition. Okay, guys, let's say it this way. So we will see if they get a new MCU or if they just make redesign the PCB and the software in general. So the firmware would be a cool move. Also, I hope this will lower the latency a little bit. I know we talked a lot about latencies now or already. I can show you some other products here which I already have here from Pulsar. I bought them myself, by the way, and I will review them later in different separate smaller reviews which are way shorter than this one. But for now, we go over to those latency benchmarks. I made some latency tests again for you guys. I know you're asking a lot about it, and I know you also ask a lot about Razer and Viper and 8K and whatever. But for now, for this comparison, I show some different models and just have again the G Pro here, as you know, because it's one of the most sold. We have here both Xlites, new firmware, old firmware. We have the Superglide tested. We have a glorious Model D- for test, and we have the new Xtrafy M4 wireless, which we also tested. And I will show you the results now. We just start with the fastest one, or yeah, I think it's no surprise. It's still the G Pro, the Superglide, motion delay very low, click latency ultra low, 8.8 milliseconds. I think everything is that. So still one of the fastest on the market for $100 euros right now, round about this. Then totally, honestly, I hoped it is fast, but didn't know it is this fast. The next one already was the red Pulsar, so with the new firmware with 0 milliseconds debounce, and in general it was like 12.35 milliseconds in average, with a very low standard deviation, which is only roughly 1.23 milliseconds. That's pretty nice, guys. So you are in between 13.58 milliseconds and 11.12 milliseconds. That's a very good number. Very nice average, to be honest, for a mouse which is basically only $80, 80 euros, something like this. That's good, guys. It's huge, it's big, it has scales, it's available, guys. It has an awesome build quality, and it has an arrow shape. So if you still want to buy it, you can do it for sure. Latency is good, and I hope they improve latency as well on the new version. The next one would be, what is it? That was a little surprise for me. I was really surprised, not gonna lie, man. Then on the third place, basically, there's the Model D-. Really kind of surprising. It was also with 0 milliseconds debounce. The standard deviation was a little bit higher than on the Pulsar, but it's still 12.57 milliseconds in average on my system. Please keep in mind, guys, that your system is maybe not as fast as the one I'm using here. I say it's very, yeah, it's made very good. It's a low latency system made by myself. And I think you guys would have like 16, 18 milliseconds with this one. Just add between 2 and 8 milliseconds for your system, okay? Pretty fast, kind of surprising for me, but it's still a glorious product, guys. Don't think that these milliseconds will make it great. It's not. And the next one was like, it was the old firmware version, the white one, also with 0 milliseconds in debounce, with 12.78, but with a higher deviation than the red one. Basically, your average will be more spreaded, to be honest, but not faster in the mints. So the fastest one will not be faster, but the max ones will raise by up to 3 milliseconds. That's a lot. Or you just update the firmware like I did, or like it's on the red one, and you just avoid it if you buy a white or red one, guys. Right after this, there was like, what is it? Oh yeah, here. Then the Xtrafy M4 wireless with 2 milliseconds set, and 1000 hertz came on the next spot, and yeah, was kind of good. It's 5th place, to be honest. No, it's 4th place. 4th place, guys. It's good. 4th place on this little benchmark here. Kind of good. Was 13.22 milliseconds with the lowest standard deviation I've had today, which is only 1.03 milliseconds, which is very good if you compare this to different YouTubers like Optimum Tech, who is basically always like 3 to 4 milliseconds, sometimes more, sometimes less. Other guys like Riot New, who made those the Valorant guide, also has like 3 milliseconds, which is a lot, guys. If you have like, or if you are able to test this and it's more like 2, you need to optimize something on your system. 100%, guys. Cause basically what I tell you is that you have the average, which is here 30.22 milliseconds, and it just goes up to 14.25 and down to 12.19. That's basically the numbers where it's always moving the whole time in between. That's the range of the average, and that's kind of good. But we will handle this in a separate review. And then, yeah, it's the wired with 2 milliseconds. It was like 14.03 milliseconds, and then the old firmware one, but you notice already, this is still 16.33 milliseconds on the Phantom Starlight M. I will update the firmware soon because it's named for me. Oh no, wait, sorry. Yeah, I will update it and then I will show you the new results for sure, guys. But I think it will only go down to 14 or something like that. So it's still way too slow for the Freethinker product for the next 10 years, guys. That's basically it. I'm kind of eager for this one. I hope it will be as nice as the last ones or be as surprising as the red one for now. I hope for better latency, better weight, better shape. I hope for the mini one, and then I hope for the symmetrical mini. This can get one of the most widely used wireless symmetrical shape mouse out there, because if they keep the quality, if they are able to maintain a weight below 50 gram with a plastic shell and with closed sights on a symmetrical with maybe 2 milliseconds less, they will be very good. Price would be good, product would be awesome, you will have glass skates on it, will be a banger, guys. I think it will be a mouse to main for everyone. So guys, thanks for watching so far. If you have any questions about Pulsar or whatever, or any stuff I showed here, or about those latency tests, just put it down in the comments below. I will try to answer it as soon as possible. And I hope I see you on the next video, guys. Bye bye.